Okay, so my name is Kendall Tyson, and I know Dr. Pegram. She and I used to work together. I was a counselor at Cypher ISD. She was one of our history teachers, and I have known her for a long time. I'm sorry, did I call her Dr. Pegram?
Yes, sir.
What did I call her, Miss Pegram? Okay, my apologies, it's Dr. Pegram because she earned that honorific. And so I'm really excited to be here to chat, to talk. I don't like to just do all the talking. I do a lot of it already as a therapist, so I might ask questions. I'm hoping that you'll have something that I'm offering where you can take notes. I speak a lot about mental health, especially as far as college students. I focus heavily on BIPOC populations, young Black students. I just finished my 16th year in education. So we always do like working norms whenever we speak or whenever I speak. And this is just so we can have a back and forth with one another. And take care of your needs, right? You little church hand. Who knows about the church thing? All right, if you need to step out. And if I need to get your attention, I might raise my hand. I have a cheerleader voice, so I might just say, hey y'all. I'm asking that you listen with your full attention and with the ability to, with the intention to understand. And does anyone in here speak more than one language? All right, so normally I'm talking to audiences whose first language is not English, so I always offer to process in the language that is most comfortable for you. And respond with empathy and understanding. So can you tell me what that means? Okay. So if somebody says something that you may not agree with or doesn't make sense to you, give me how not to respond. Yeah. How would you respond? Okay. Even if you don't necessarily get it, it's just a way to demonstrate empathy. And mind your technology. I don't mind if you use your phones. I'm asking that you cut them off. Not off, keep them on silent.
They ain't supposed to be on, so yeah.
Okay. Well, I might want them to scan my QR code at the end. All right. So mind your technology, keep your phone, well, they're supposed to be off. You have something to write with. And if you have any questions as I'm talking, feel free to raise your hand, ask the question so we can keep this interactive. I know there's time designed at the end for questions, but we can keep it flowing if that's okay. Is that okay with y'all?
Yes.
All right. So, back. Is that okay? So, it's really important for you, in my estimation, to identify your intentions. You've been participating in this bridge program for how many weeks? 4. For 4 weeks. And so with this particular session, which is going to be similar to other people's sessions, I just want you to write down one thing that you would like to glean from this session. Like, what's an intention? What's something that you hope to learn? It doesn't have to be extensive, but what this does is it helps you think forward, and it keeps you focused, and it helps you to pay attention, and it helps to break the monotony of, get off your phone. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to learn campus because it's a bigger environment than this high school. So
Right, you want to learn what?
the campus
Okay. You wrote that down?
in the building.
Okay. So I'll show you where I graduated from undergrad, and you'll see I used to come to Prairie View with my ex-best friend all the time. Used to go on 290 and have a good weekend. So this is who I am. Obviously, my name is Kendall. My mother, Christine, is right there. I'm from Texas. I'm from Huntsville. And I am a repatriated expat. Does anybody know what an expat is? What's an expat?
You used to live outside the country?
Yes. I just moved back to the United States from Beijing. I lived 6 years in Beijing. I was a high school counselor, therapist, consultant in Beijing for 6 years. And so I've actually been back in the U.S. since June 22nd. I love to travel. I love to talk about mental health. I love to connect with other Black people of the diaspora. I'm a daughter and sister of Titi. My nieces Naomi, Imani, Trinity. They'll be here this weekend. I run my own businesses. I'm a psychotherapist. Do you know what a psychotherapist is? Yeah, I'm a mental health professional. I'm a consultant, I'm a clinical supervisor, so I help to grow other counselors, other school counselors. I'm a podcaster, I'm neurodivergent, I have ADHD. And I'm always like, do I want to say that out loud? But then I'm like, yes, because there's nothing wrong with being neurodivergent. I'm an advocate, and as I get more into learning more about myself and showing other people what that can look like to extrapolate what do you do from who you are, I'm also learning to identify other characteristics about myself that aren't what I do. Because as Black people, I've learned over the 42 years that I've been on this earth, sometimes for others, our wealth and worth is derived from how are we being of value. And it's really my message to let people know that you're worthy, whether you're producing or not. So I'm making sure to identify other characteristics that aren't aligned with the work that I do to help my own self-worth and self-compassion. So that's definitely something I encourage you to do. So this is a little bit more about me. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin, took my horns in 2005. That's why I said I know a lot about Craig, because I come there all the time, or I used to. I have a degree in marketing, a minor in Spanish, and I worked in multiple careers since I graduated from college. Well, no, since 15. I've been working since I was 15, huh? Babysitting, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and a lot of the work that I focus on is centered on alignments. There'll be words that I share with you that hopefully spur you to kind of take a look at where you are, the benefit of this bridge program, and how it's going to help you to better matriculate into college. Is everybody here going to be freshmen?
Yes.
Okay. It is one of the most challenging years because you're transitioning from, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But I want you to be intentional about how you care for yourself, the opportunities that you have, because every program, every school is not going to offer this bridge program to help inoculate you to the culture, to help you meet people, to help you ask questions, to help you learn this environment, which is going to help you with adjusting, especially if you're coming from another country or other states, because Texas is Texas, right? So for the individual from New York, tell me how you felt when you came to Texas.
I ain't like it. It was weird. It was hot. Let's say that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bugs.
Yeah, we have horse flies. Yeah, what about culture-wise? What'd you notice that was different?
Oh, like that whole Southern hospitality thing is
Different than New York?
yeah, cause I'm used to people like up north. If you don't like somebody, you don't associate with them. But down here, I feel like Southern hospitality is just kind of keeping it cordial so you can use each other. So y'all really don't be liking each other, but y'all be putting on that Southern smile and offering sweet tea just so you can get something.
Okay, so more of a transactional nature.
Yeah.
There definitely are people that way. I would say most of us, I hope, are friendly and kind, like the whole yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, which I appreciate because of like the culture that we were raised into, right? So even though phenotypically we're all Black, right? I know we have all different cultures and subcultures, which makes us very different, even though we come from the same type of culture heritage. So this is part of the work that I do, especially with kids, well, you're not kids, you're adults, entering into college. And I have my counseling degree from Sam Houston. Who's heard of Sam Houston? All right. If you've Huntsville, you've heard of Sam Houston for sure. Yeah, and I've been a professional professional counselor since 2014. So I love what I do, and I love helping people like you. All right. My career progression has not been linear. Who has an idea of what they want to do, like the degree that they want to earn? Can you share?
I want a degree in biology and a minor in psychology.
Awesome.
I want a PhD in psychology.
Okay. Just you popcorn out.
Oh, business and accounting and then, blah, 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 blah. Sorry. I want to major in accounting. Major in business, minor in accounting.
Okay. Ooh, numbers. Ooh. I like people. What is that? Any engineers? Engineering? Architecture? Nursing? Y'all know.
Social work.
Social work, okay. What else?
I wanna do, agriculture, be a vet.
Fabulous. I have a few friends and relatives that, my late grandfather actually received his master's from Prairie View, long time ago. But I ask you that question to say that what you intend to do right now, I'm hoping that you continue to utilize that information and that degree throughout your life. But in most cases, you're gonna pivot. And it's really important to have an understanding of who you are, how do you care for yourself, what do you want, so that when that pivot happens, you know that it's part of the plan. I started out with a business degree. I've run multi-million-dollar territories in the state of Texas. Then I got into education. I've been in education 16 years. I run my own business. I've been abroad running an international business. So entrepreneurship, I did not think was for me, but I love my freedom. I love being able to make decisions for myself. I love being able to create and connect with people, even though I have social anxiety. And again, in neurodivergent, it creates an extra hurdle that I've had to kind of work through my entire life with therapy. So these are some of the pathways or trajectories that my career has taken. So when you think about what you want to do in this world, I also want you to think about, what does your support system look like? What are you willing to do legally in order to move in that direction? And how are you going to utilize this opportunity, this bridge program, to help you succeed when school starts? When? August 26th, because it's fast approaching. All right, so this was me presenting in, I think this was Athens, Greece. So again, I'm an entrepreneur. I own a few businesses, and what I appreciate, as I stated a little bit earlier, is the fact that whatever my brain can conceive, or better yet, what the Lord downloads into my mind at like 3 a.m., I can make that happen, right? I can put the work behind it. I connect with other people to identify what my community needs, or who are the individuals that need the support. How can I assist them? Is that mental health? Is that education? Is that parenting? Is that college students? Do you all know what the top mental health diagnosis is for college students? Depression and anxiety. And as individuals that are transitioning into a new phase of life, and as, like I said, culturally Black people, that's not really conversations that we have. So just by a show of hands, who's had conversations with people in their family, friends, circle of friends about mental health? Oh, wow. This warms my heart. And how do y'all feel about talking about mental health? Can you just share out?
It just kind of breaks that generational curse. Like, you know, it's not really talked about much, but I'm grateful for my mom because she allows me to, like, you know, express myself. And then even like when I'm not gonna say get into it, but when there are disagreements, she allows me to be like, Mom, I think she was angry earlier, but I don't agree with the way that you went about that. And she like, how take that and do better. And our relationship is stronger than it's ever been.
I love that for y'all. I really love that for y'all.
My relationship with mental health with my family is kind of weird because my mom is very open to the conversations, and it didn't really start until I got into my teenage years. But the family I come from is very, how do I explain this? Very Christian, very holier than now. We don't talk about that. Go pray, go to church. Don't speak on it. But my mom grew up in that, so she didn't want me to be around it. So we'll have times in the house where she'll be like, I see you, you're getting a little bit more quiet than normal, what's going on, and we'll have talks about it.
Yeah, so she's noticing.
Yeah,
If
my
there's
mom
a shift.
she's very observant.
Yeah, I like that. Who grew up in households that were a bit more religious? Which isn't a problem, right? I love the Lord, I'll say that. We just know that sometimes it can, depending on the households that we come from, the families of our origin, it can make it challenging sometimes to have this conversation. Any young men in here about mental health? What's y'all's take?
I feel like as a dude, like we don't really talk about that. Like I feel like girls are more chill with their emotions for real, so like they can have that talk. But dudes, like we really just more like suck it up. deal with it on our own type. So I feel like when we have those conversations, I think the conversation we can have, like with those people who we allow ourselves to open up and talk about this stuff with, because as a dude, like we go through stuff they ain't nobody talking to them, because like we have to have that image in society, and we have to stand up. We ain't got nobody to support us. We can support us. So it's like we like it's a needed conversation that we can have with some people.
So I'm curious about how do you change that? Because there are lots of young teenage men, black, that are dying by suicide. And that's not been the case in our culture before. A lot of older black men are experiencing depression. And I swear this is not fully mental health, but it's definitely gonna be mental health focused. As a psychotherapist, I help individuals that are at a place in their life find some relief, right? What do you need? You do not have to, this is what I want you to write down. Or one of the things I want you to write down. You do not have to have a problem to seek therapy. Can you repeat that to me?
You do not have to have a problem to seek therapy.
You do not have to have a problem to seek therapy. So as a psychotherapist, I come to places to talk about mental health. I go into communities. I was home a few summers ago, and I talked to different young people and other individuals in our community about mental health and self-care. I love all things media. My podcast, The Black Expat Experience, we discuss with black individuals all over the world mental health and connection and community and how they started their journeys abroad. Has anyone ever had a desire to work internationally or live? Okay, make sure you follow me because I know people that you can connect with as far as working abroad, and we also have somebody here that's doing it, so make sure you ask them questions. But this is what I do. I help people live healthier lives, and I don't necessarily give you advice to tell you how to do that. I help you to figure out what is it that you need, especially as individuals entering college, because a lot is gonna come at you, and what you already have inside of you, you're gonna have to tap into it to be successful. So what I want you to write down right now is, what would success, you don't write the question. In the first semester of school, what do you want success to look like? What do you want success to look like? Don't think about what your mama wants, what your daddy wants, what your guardian wants, what your family wants. What do you want success to look like? Is anyone brave enough to share?
In the first semester of school, I would like success to be me passing all my classes and strengthening my relationship.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So when people share, we do the snaps. Can y'all snap? Okay, so here's my question to you. Write down 3 steps of how you're gonna do that. Those are 2 different goals. 3 steps for how you're gonna do it. Anyone else?
I want to turn in all my assignments on time.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Write down how you were gonna do that. Oh, I used to struggle.
Healthier friendships, relationships with myself, with God, you know, listen to 3.5, you can.
All right, I want you to write down how you're gonna do that. I'm
Um,
sorry, yeah, snap.
Me having a balance between schoolwork and job and working.
I wish I knew what balance was. Yes. Write down what that's gonna look like. Any gentlemen in the back?
Be quiet now.
I know y'all not quiet.
They not.
Have y'all eaten lunch yet? Oh, so when? Okay. I might have you get up and do some jumping jacks. Okay, I'm gonna volunteer some people. Young man in the blue with the lock.
Joe, sit up. Sit up.
Hmm? I can't hear you. Okay, thank you for being honest. Who else would like to share? A young man.
I said I want to get organized and travel and be better at networking and also like have an idea of what I want to do as a major.
Okay, so you're still trying to figure some things out, which is perfect. I know people that have been in school for like 7 years that it took them a while. So I want you to identify 3 things that's gonna help you to move in that direction. One more young man. White t-shirt in the back. this is why we don't sit in the back. This is why we sit in the front, folks. Okay. I'm waiting. My question, oh, that's my turn? No. My question was, what is my question? Who remembers? See? Who knew that on your row? What does success look like for you in the first semester? I'll come back to you. And I'll come back to the young man in the blue shirt too. Thank you. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit. Stigma. What does stigma look like in your community, in your age group? What does that sound like, mental health stigma? Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sharon.
It sounds like peer pressure.
One at a time. Can y'all project your voice? I'm just loud. Can you speak a little louder? No, please share. I just can't hear you. I want to hear you. Oh. Go ahead.
It sounds like peer pressure.
Yeah, peer pressure about what?
Just like certain things that they expect out of you, but you just don't fit that type of category in life.
Yeah. What else could it sound like?
Basically like rules, like basically trying to feel you know, what you should do, what you shouldn't do based on a certain like demographic.
Okay.
Specific, like sometimes.
Okay. What about pray about it? And I love God. I want y'all to know that.